So this week I was listening to a song called His Eye is on the Sparrow. And as I was singing this song, I was really intrigued to know about sparrow, because we see sparrow all the time, but I've never given a thought about the significance of sparrow. And as I was reading about sparrow, I found out that, like we all see, sparrow is very cute, very small. And during the olden times, sparrow had no value. I mean, it was of a very little value. It was cheap, and it was sold, in the olden times, sparrow was the cheapest bird sold in the market. That's why Matthew chapter 10 verse 29 it says, "Are not 2 sparrows sold for a penny?" Luke chapter 12 verse 6 it says, "Are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 pennies?" And Bible goes on to say that yet not one of them is forgotten by God. And also Luke chapter 12 verse 7 it says, "Indeed the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Do not be afraid, you are worth more than many sparrows." So I believe this word is for you today if you're watching. Maybe you're feeling alone. Maybe you're feeling discouraged with the things that is going around in your life. Feeling that nobody cares for you. But just like Bible says that Bible uses, Jesus doesn't just use anything randomly. Maybe He wants to speak to you today that if He can care for a sparrow that is sold very cheaply in the market, a bird that is of no value, if He can care for that very little bird, how much He would care for you, the person whom He has created with His own hand. No wonder Bible says you are not a mistake. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Today I want to encourage you to may you find courage and strength in the fact, knowing that He cares for you. Knowing that just like He cares for a little sparrow, He cares for you today. The song His Eyes on the Sparrow was written by a lady named Sevilla D. Martin. He wrote this song, that word His eyes on the sparrow came when she visited a couple called Mr. and Mrs. Dolittle. And as I was reading this story, I found out that Mr. and Mrs. Dolittle, that wife, was bedridden for 20 years. And the husband was permanently crippled. But one thing that people noticed about both of them is that they are always happy and they love the Lord. And people always get encouraged by the spirit, the character that they carry. So one day, Miss Sevilla D. Martin went and asked them, saying, "What is the secret behind your happiness? And how do you always remain so positive and happy?" And during that time, that lady, Mrs. Dolittle, replied that His eye is on the sparrow, and I know that He cares for me. And that is where the song came out, that His eye is on the sparrow. Just like the song says, His eye is on the sparrow. Why should I feel discouraged? Why should the shadow come? Why would my heart be lonely and long for heaven and home? When Jesus is my portion, my constant friend is He. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. I sing because I am happy. I sing because I am free. For His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. Today, I pray that you would be encouraged with this fact, that just like Jesus, who cares for this little sparrow, He cares for you. And He has not forgotten you even today. And the very reason that you are right now watching this video and alive, breathing, is the very reason that He cares for you. Because the Bible says that even a single sparrow doesn't fall on the ground without God's permission. And today, right now, you're watching this video because God cares for you. And God has something very wonderful planned for you. So today, I want to pray for you even as you are watching this. I pray that you would find courage in the Lord. I pray that you would find strength in the Lord and peace in the Lord. Can I pray for you? Father, right now I lift up everyone who is watching this video. I pray that if there's anyone feeling lonely, discouraged, feeling disheartened with the things that is going on in their life, Lord, feeling rejected or lonely, Lord, Just like you care for a little sparrow, Lord. I know that you care for them, Lord. I pray right now that you give them the grace and the strength to overcome this hardship, this discouragement. And I pray that they will be encouraged by this word, that even the hairs on their head are counted, and that you care for them, Jesus, and that they are more far precious than the sparrow. So right now, Jesus, I pray that you would strengthen them, that you give them peace, that your grace will continue to sustain them, Lord, and lead them by your Holy Spirit, Lord. Once again, Jesus, I surrender each and every one of their life, Lord, into your blessed hand. In Jesus' name I pray.